The first video in this week's scary compilation was uploaded by a woman named Monica. Monica typically shares everyday content on her page, nothing related to ghosts or the supernatural. But on this particular night, something creepy happened at her office that she felt compelled to record. She's working late. The building is empty except for her when suddenly the security alarm starts going off. The system indicates movement on the upper floor, which shouldn't be possible because she's completely alone. Confused and uneasy, she grabs her phone and starts recording as she investigates.
The alarm is still on, so there's no reason why I heard running up here. That scared the shit out of me. Okay, that deactivates the alarm. Oh man, I'm scared. Oh. I don't know if I could walk in there. Keeps opening. Oh hell, what the fuck was that? Oh fuck, that poster scared the shit out of me.
Monica turns off the alarm, trying to stay calm, telling herself it must be a malfunction. Then, as she stands in the empty hallway, an overwhelming wave of sadness washes over her, so intense that she begins crying uncontrollably. She doesn't understand why. There's no reason for it. Through her tears, she notices a door slowly opening on its own. Then, strange sounds echo through the empty office. Monica rushes back downstairs, still shaken by whatever she experienced on that floor. Later, she explained that the sadness came out of nowhere. The moment she stepped onto that level, it was as if the emotion wasn't her own. Many viewers believe she was affected by a mournful spirit, perhaps someone who passed away in that building.
The foyer. In August 2025, the user behind the Reddit account Forsaken Worker 8777 had been hearing strange noises echoing throughout their house for a few weeks. The first few times, they shrugged it off as house noises, or even stuff happening outside the front door, causing sound to bleed into the area. But after multiple instances, they could not shake the feeling that someone or something was deliberately causing it. So they set up their phone at the top of the stairs and left it recording. This is the footage he ended up catching, footage that left him shaking. That is a hell of a lot of activity to capture all at once. You've got multiple objects moving and doors slamming, all focused in that one small area. Now, when paranormal investigators see this much chaos crammed into one spot, they often point to the classic poltergeist haunting, a noisy, chaotic, and sometimes violent type of entity that seems to thrive on energy. What's really creepy is that this kind of activity is often centered on a single person living in the house, known as an agent, who might be subconsciously feeding the haunting without even knowing it. Another theory is that the foyer itself is a kind of spiritual bottleneck, a hotspot where different energies get trapped or are constantly passing through, which would explain why everything seems to kick off in that one specific spot. What makes the uploader, Forsaken Worker 8777, more believable is that their reaction to the skeptics, instead of getting defensive, they simply acknowledge the single camera angle wasn't great and promises to use 2 cameras next time to get a better view. What do you think? A classic poltergeist tied to someone in the house, or something else? Let us know your thoughts in the comments.
Tragedy strikes. While working long hours, the staff at this hospital experienced one of the bleakest things that can happen in their line of work. A patient tragically passed away earlier that day, but as the doctors and nurses hustled inside and past the doors to the room, they couldn't help but notice that something felt off. While they brushed it off as the tragedy setting them on edge, after a while, they could no longer ignore it, as it all became more physical.
I don't see nothing. And it's just all it does is that. Huh? She gonna slam it on you.
We looking at a ghost, Miss Cece?
That's all it does. All by itself. Oh, I just got dizzy, and I don't know why. I hate that feeling.
According to the source behind this video, the door to the operating room can only be opened with a button, and at the time, the hospital staff knew that there was no one inside. Could the spirit of the patient have come to fruition so quickly? Was she trying to get out of the operating room, or was there some kind of electrical malfunction causing the door to open? Let us know your thoughts.
On October the 4th, 2025, a user named Misty N. Adams shared security camera footage that captured something unexplainable outside her home. It's 9:44 p.m. and Misty explains that her son was walking up to the house after being at a friend's house earlier that evening. Just as he approached, Misty received a motion alert notification on her phone from one of her outdoor cameras. But then she sees something captured by the security camera that just doesn't make sense. The night vision camera shows a dark shape moving across the yard. Viewers have pointed out how distinct the shape is and how quickly it moves. Then, on a second camera angle, Misty's son appears walking up to the house, apparently totally unaware of what's following behind him. But here's what's disturbing. The second camera, which should have captured the same object, shows nothing. Only the infrared night vision camera caught whatever this is. Misty also points out a strange noise that occurs the moment the object crosses the frame. She's reviewed the footage multiple times and still can't explain what it was. But the fact that it only appeared on one camera makes Misty and her viewers think the camera picked up something paranormal. But what do you think? This next clip was shared to the R Ghosts subreddit by PlayingConstant3691. The footage was captured by a security camera during a house renovation project. The OP explains that he and his father had been working on renovating a house for a close family friend. Throughout the project, the owner had installed Ring cameras to keep the construction site secure. One morning at 4 a.m, the owner received a notification on his phone telling him motion had been detected. What the footage showed left him genuinely unsettled. The camera, positioned in front of a window, captures something moving in front of the lens. Viewers have noticed that as it moves, it almost seems to let off an eerie glow. The next night, the Reddit user and his father returned to try recreating what the camera captured. They used flashlights and tried shining lights through windows. They even had someone check the live feed while they were experimenting. Nothing they did triggered the same person detected alert. Whatever passed through the house at 4 a.m. was solid enough to trigger a person detected alert, but just what exactly was it? Something paranormal? Or is there a more logical explanation? Let me know in the comments below. Back in 2024, a preschool teacher who goes by the username OKSpot2913 on Reddit posted a photo that left thousands of people disturbed. The teacher was in her classroom during the kids' nap time. All the children were asleep and she was quietly tidying up. When she finished, she decided to take a photo to send to her friend. But when she looked at the image more closely, she noticed something that left her spooked. In the photo, standing near the table, is the image of a child, but something about the child's appearance is deeply unsettling. The teacher insists that when she took the photo, all her young students were in their cots, fast asleep. Thinking it might be a glitch, she immediately took another photo of the exact same spot. The second image came back completely normal, no figure and nothing unusual. When she posted it to Reddit, commenters pointed out how clearly the childlike figure appears. It's just too defined to be a camera error. After capturing this image, the teacher can't shake the feeling that something is haunting that classroom. Perhaps the ghost of a child. But what do they want? In this next scary video, a couple who own a pet store in West Virginia shared security camera footage after it captured something disturbing. The owners took in an old stray dog that they let roam freely around the store, even when they're closed. One morning, when they arrive to open up, they find the dog trembling and visibly terrified of something. Concerned, they reviewed the security footage from the night before to see what had frightened the dog. What they discovered left them shaken. The footage shows the dog walking through the empty store in the middle of the night. Then, without warning, the dog is suddenly pushed by something, as if an invisible force shoved it. Thankfully, the dog wasn't injured, but he was clearly traumatized. Who knows what he must have gone through that night, all alone with whatever pushed him. When the footage was shared to Reddit, viewers were disturbed by how aggressive the incident appears. The couple says they've never experienced anything paranormal in the store before this, and they can't shake the feeling that something sinister is lurking after dark. Late one night, somewhere in the countryside of Indonesia, a man and his friend were riding their motorbikes. They're driving down an old plantation road when suddenly one of the bikes breaks down. The area is known locally for sightings of the kuntilanak, a terrifying female spirit from Indonesian folklore. The man started working on the motorbike while his friend stepped back to record the situation, but as the camera rolled, something emerged from the darkness.
Eta tukangan Yeah. Astagfirullahaladzim. Naon eta euy? Astagfirullah. Iya, ngapar kieu leungeun. Asli.
From the trees behind the man, a figure slowly appears. The figure stands only a few feet away, just watching. The friend recording starts shouting, trying to warn him, and the man turns around, sees the figure, and the video abruptly cuts off. The man says he and his friends made it home safely, but they will never forget the night they broke down on that dark plantation road.
Naon eta euy?
Social media user, well, we'll just call him Semo, and his two friends were travelling through rural Indonesia. Semo usually posts this kind of content, but there's nothing paranormal about it. Until now. Along the roadside, Semo and his friends stopped to rest. One of them casually started recording the surroundings, and they didn't notice anything unusual at the time. But when he reviewed the footage later, he realised his camera had captured something unexplainable.
Kayak ini 3 orang ya, 3 orang kayak ini. Trik mengikat 3 orang saja. 3 orang saja.
Semo and his friends can be seen casually talking. Then, in the background, something suddenly appears. Whatever it is shoots upward into the air at incredible speed, rising vertically before disappearing into the darkness above. But what is it? This final clip was uploaded to TikTok by Miguel58828, who shared the footage captured on his security camera from his family's home in Mexico. For the last few months, Miguel says he and his family have been noticing strange things happening around the house and in the yard around the property, they'd hear strange noises, almost like tiny voices whispering to each other. Then they started noticing objects going missing, only to turn up in seemingly random places. But then, a few months ago, Miguel's family were reviewing their security camera footage when they noticed something that stopped them cold.
Vino de entonces de por Doña Vicky, ¿verdad?
Sí, de aquí vino, de aquí bajó.
¿Y dónde está?
Ahí va.
Ahí está. Ay, mira mi madre. Mírala, mírala. Ay.
Many commenters believe the family captured something like a fairy, or what's known in Mexican folklore as an alux, a small supernatural being. The family hasn't seen it again, but now they watch their security camera footage more carefully, wondering if this winged creature is still visiting their property. Thanks so much for watching. If you're up for more scary videos, check out one of these next. You're gonna love them. Oh, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.